Hello, I'm Robin Gibson, and this is the Harvard House Money Morsel. Welcome back. Thank you for joining us again. Don't forget to like and subscribe and click the bell so you get a notification of when we're releasing a new video. I'm sitting today with Willie Pelser. Hello, Willie.
Hey, it's Robin.
So, Willie, we're actually filming on Thursday. Yesterday was the mini budget, and man, the press has gone bananas. It's lollipops for everyone, is it?
Yeah,
So can you help us?
and cash for free.
And cash for free.
Yeah.
Can you help the guy on the street? I mean, I've watched a fair amount of analysis, but I'm sure the viewers would really like to have an understanding of what everyone's so excited about and why it was so good.
Robin, as I drove home last night after quickly scanning through all the documents and so on, I said to myself, this is comparable to a normal household. So let's quickly unpack why it's so optimistic and what has come through. So when you're in trouble, in a normal household, you normally take your income line, you analyze that, you take your expenditure line, analyze that, and if you're indebted, you sometimes go to the bank and you ask him, listen, can I extend my loan or the period on my loan, or can we renegotiate an interest rate? That's what happened yesterday.
Okay.
Because the inflation targeting regime that's now been adopted as policy for South Africa has put it at a 3% limit with a bit of margin around, because yes, we need to get there. So the positive around that, Robin, is actually what has triggered the market to go ballistic, because it means in time, because we want to go to a 3% inflation, that the interest rate level in the country will adjust lower. So it has all sorts of positive implications. Yes, if you're indebted, your rates will be lower. If you're in the share market, your analysis for in the future, away from cash, where's your best return, will be equity related, that type of thing, and that's what happened there. Michael will actually cover that in the inside. So from that perspective, let's just look back and say what has really happened in the last few months. So on the income line, yes, we've overcollected, which is a serious positive. If we think we wanted a 2% VAT hike in February this year or in March this year, because there's not sufficient new income in the system, we got that from, I don't want to say a booming economy, but an economy that's lifting its head. So that's VAT. We spoke about it on this forum a while ago. And then obviously what we've seen in the mining industry. So there's new revenue coming in.
Can I just interrupt you there? So the other thing was, when we had the whole budget impasse, Edward Kisweta said, give me the extra money, I'll collect it from those people who are cheating on their taxes. That's also come through.
That's also there. So the income line looks much better.
Okay.
And it looks better on the forecast in this mini update as well. On the expenditure side, not a lot of adjustments type of thing from that number perspective. But then if you adjust with your new sort of nominal numbers because of the lower inflation, our debt servicing cost will reduce over time, and that will lead to the issuance of new debt will also reduce. So we will go, every week we get an auction. We spoke about it before, where there's oversubscription. So what has led now to a reduction in that weekly requirement. So from a budget perspective, there's actually a lot of mini positives hidden in the fine print, and I'll sort of mention one of them is it sounds negative, but Transnet's getting more money, but all of these things are productivity related, if I can use that word. So we're getting lots of new money for the Northern Corridor, which is the railway line from Joburg to the Durban port.
Okay.
Earmarked for that. That's something in there. And at the municipal level, believe it or not, there's two new implementations. The one is around, call it the infrastructure that municipalities are responsible for, water, electricity, and so on. Yes. There's now a link as to performance-based to work on those things. So from an expenditure perspective, they've put checks and balances in place in the fine print, and that will lead to a better outcome. For the man in the street at this point in time, yes, this is a mini budget. It's not where they adjust tax levels and all of those type of things. How we're going to feel it is, I think what I read in this update is the economy, and we've mentioned it before, it's more tangible that there's a positive vibe from an economic growth perspective.
Yes.
That also builds into, more revenue, more tax collection, and the outcome to us is on the positive side via inflation.
Yeah.
It will take longer for money to lose its value,
Yeah.
if I can call it that.
Which is why it's pro-poor, is that right?
Yeah.
So, Willie, the other thing that I heard a fair amount of excitement about was that there was quite a few mentions about the rating agencies maybe looking at us differently and upgrading us.
Yeah.
Why is an upgrade so important? What does that mean for us as the ordinary South African and investors here?
Robin, the reason why they would, and I think S&P tomorrow, actually Friday, has an announcement, and I think they will change our outlook to a positive, or maybe a rate change on the level. The reason being because they look at the financeability of the outstanding debt.
Yes.
Now, what we've just mentioned now is the forecast is actually in this financial year that this will be the worst level, which is sort of 77% debt to GDP, and then it will taper off. So that's a positive for the rating agencies. And then management around expenditure. That's as simple as that. And there's a lot of positives, I think, for S&P to do tomorrow. And then the rating agencies, they have clones, Moody's, you name it, all other. They might just jump on the bandwagon and also lower. The reason why it's important, because it changes your perspective from a borrowing perspective international, if your credit rating is better. So when we issue bonds internationally, then we get it at a preferred rate, if I can call it that way, or lower rate because of the rating agency, or the lower rating for the agencies. So yeah, that's a positive, and I think the rand's voting on its feet.
Yes.
And that's what we've seen in the last couple of hours. Actually, we below 17 to the dollar, and
For the first time since 2023.
Yeah. And on the bond market is following, because yes, less issuance, lower cost in funding in future. So everybody just says, I can't get enough of fixed income into my portfolios.
So to use your illustration that you used at the beginning on the household basis, so it's a bit like when you go to the bank to renegotiate, he looks at everything you've done on your income and expenditure line, and he says, you're doing it so nicely there, I'm actually going to drop your interest rate on your borrowing. So I mean, that's really effective.
So Roman, yes, at the end of that is the Reserve Bank said, yes, good scholar.
Yes.
You've done all your basic economic 101 stuff.
Yes.
I'll lower the rates for you. That's sort of what he said. So yeah. And it's a combined effort now, because a few months ago the two oaks were sort of fighting as to, I'm not adapting, finance minister saying, I'm not listening to you.
Yeah.
Lesetja Kanyago saying, you have to listen to me because it's to your benefit.
Yeah.
So,
that's awesome. Willie, thank you for giving us insight. It's great to have good news, and thank you for joining us. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll catch you again next time. Bye-bye.